Another warm welcome to another episode of My Life in Sports with me, Skhu. We are out at Kenza, White City, Soweto, at the Soweto Weightlifting Club, where we will be speaking to the South African 2021 weightlifting champion, that is Tiisetso Hlabathe. I'm looking forward to the conversation. Come, join mfethu. Remember to like the page, subscribe, as well as click on that notification button so that you can get a front row seat to our content. Asiye, siyoringana sister. And as mentioned, I did mention that I will be in the company of a champion. I've got a champion next to me. I've got Tiisetso Hlabathe, who is the SA Weightlifting Champion 2021. Tiisetso.
Yes.
How are you? Yes, man. Thank you so much for inviting us to invade your space.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Tiisetso, we'll just start it straight from the beginning. Tiisetso Kimang Utswakai. If you can just explain to us Umang briefly.
Okay. Tiisetso Hlabathe. I was born and raised more White City. Mkenza. Yes. Okay. I was born and raised more White City.
Okay, so umntwana seKenza.
Yeah.
So growing up, where did you start your schooling? Did you do your schooling Konala?
No. Yeah, definitely Momo White City ko Molaetsa Primary School. Ke mo ke keneng primary ya ka mo teng. Ke mo ke qadileng ho tseba weightlifting teng. I was still in grade 4. I was still in grade 4. My friend Mpos Moody, she's the one who took me and Bontor to boxing. This is what I think you're gonna fall in love with. And immediately I feel that day one when I saw platform, ke bona di bag, ke bona di weights, ka bona
yes. Okay, no, we'll get into that. So ukhulele White City, ukhulela ekhaya elinjani? Are you living no mama, no baba, or gogo, and there's a whole big family, family setup?
Yes, we are a very big family.
Okay.
But from my mom's side, azanga ulaki hudiswa ke ntate wa ka.
Okay.
So ke hotse ke le under mama.
Yeah.
8, so wanna be 5. Re bangata fela le gonto.
Anyone oling sporty ko jarting, was it jarata baratang sports ko yona or?
Yeah, my sister. Una lala netball.
Okay.
Yes, but that was long time.
Before, yeah. So now you start your primary school, as you've mentioned, you met weightlifting at early age, grade 4. Prior to that, were you doing boxing?
Yeah, I was doing boxing. More community center, more White City. I was doing boxing.
But what is always, especially at that young age, what made you fall in love with sports? That's why I was asking, maybe you had influences, but being involved in sportsing.
No, the thing there's this teacher of mine, ona momo primary moniki kenating, Mem Sara Lisibu.
Okay.
So the way I know who this again, cause neke dancer.
Okay.
Neke dancer. So I knew I had that mind or whatever because I knew body is capable. I'm still young, flexible. I can do whatever as long as I put my mind on it. So I just went for whatever I get.
Do you still memo something?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because the reason I'm asking is it would be really nice maybe for her to see what progress you've made more sportsing. Yeah. So you start weightlifting grade 4. And grade 4, I'm just trying to put numbers together for you, probably 10, 11
yes.
Are you training ko skela or are you training it outside the school?
I was training outside ko school.
Okay.
There was this guy, his name ke Thapelo Mairi.
Okay.
Ke ene lo re ngona tshwere weightlifting ka mo around Soweto. So Mpho immediately I introduced myself, and then he taught me weightlifting ke eng. This is what you must do, this is what you shouldn't do, and then kabona from that he had to explain la mme wa ka hore ke tlile gymming and ke batla ho kena. Even though I was told your body house and all that, and I was like, this is what I wanted at the end of the day. Yes.
And did she understand?
Yes. Yes.
Supported you?
Exactly, she did, because skolong hanekili skolong maybe hagetswaka one ne hagetswaka one re tla etsa di practice tseo tsa dance. Immediately ha ke tswa ka 4 ke a gymming ha ke khutla na kwa strata ha yo you understand, get homework, I eat, I sleep, so everyday routine. Yeah, that's why I understand you, like, yes.
So now at that time ka di age tseo, are you competing or la gym afela?
I was competing because I remember my first comp ke weighed 25 and ka jeka 30 kgs, so I've always been on a bullet. Yeah.
Where was that competition?
In a local vets, at Vets University.
Okay.
Yes.
So the competitor, is it Gauteng? Is it Soweto?
It was Gauteng as a whole. Okay. It was Gauteng as a whole. Yeah.
Okay. So now you move go primary school. Do you still keep club AO, or when did you then maybe go club AO, and what were the reasons?
Life. So what happened was immediately after Kefeta primary, I had to move so ke koloni tabanyana tsa family, like I said,
from Soweto,
to Lodi, like I said, when re le bangata no kore mo jareteng ne se ba sa kgone accommodate ka ofela, so I had to re ke move ke dula plekeng engwe ke qale sekolo ka mo secondary. Yes.
So do you meet weightlifting how fitla ko?
No, a lot happened. A lot happened before I went there, because motho le khojwa ka leno la hlelwa ke mathata nyana ntonyana tse personal a benwa sporting, so ila bantho ya lose touch, like little local lebala totally ka yona immediately ke fihla lo, and then that's when kala o bona ore ke tsa dintho tse seng sharp until I came back.
And when did you come back? Are you still in high school kana kweo, or so qetile sekolo?
Nexo fete.
Okay.
Nexo fete ke vese ka 12 and then I had to come back this side, and then ka attend a high school ko Maurice Isaacson High School. Yes.
And at what point do you then go back to weightlifting or sport?
2019.
2019. Only 2019.
Only 2019. After I have met with my former coach Khadimaboe, because officially and after ke mona and come approach like what's happening, how share about life so into the jwang self introspection, but I was on the right track. The time what went wrong then and I was like I need to go back to
this,
yes, weightlifting, and kabua and then Khatu was like le novele o batla ho kruma bana and I was like count me in, we will do it kaofela. Because kids even the value selling.
So now I think that then takes us to Soweto Weightlifting Club.
Yes.
So do you form this together, or we told us it's a matter?
We formed it together.
Okay.
Yes, 2019 right kaofela. Yes.
And how has the journey been? Because where you now become a champion or SA championship. So now you come back 2019, Lekala Soweto Weightlifting School, Lekati. What was the whole vision around it? Obviously, we've established that you had the passion when weightlifting growing up, but now you meet Lekati 2019. What was the whole vision around Soweto Weightlifting Club?
The whole vision was like immediately it's a harsheba within our community, this very community. It's as if bana habana munyaka ya skolo like they abana taba generally like let's give kids something to fall in love with.
Yeah.
And immediately we get to fall in love with, and then reinforce our education through into and weightlifting in yona, because then like it's about melemo ya yona engeditseng ha re hodile ha ntse ke hola back then. No re ne ke le kae ka bophelo, ne ke nahana jwang, ke etsa dintho jwang, like inele ka re ke ikgetha ha re bana ba bang. It was only because of weightlifting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now 2019 you start this baby Soweto Weightlifting Club. Starting any baby or khudisa ngwana or khudisa a project, it's never easy.
Yes.
King mathata le kopaneng lona in what was the response? What was the response initially? Did the community take to it? Were people willing to join?
Yeah, the thing at the beginning, it was hard because most of our people, they didn't know weightlifting.
Yes.
And we had to reintroduce weightlifting, ke clean and jerk, merero ya rona ke ho etsa eng ka bana, because they were always complaining ka hore ditshepe ke bana ba tokobeya, you see, stuff like that. And I was like, so you rather ngwana tshware dibuka tse 12 and then abakobeya ka mokokotlo, so or you rather o motlise ke to mo squatisa so that ha tshwara tsona dibuka tse chest e be ludimo. And then that's when the parents started ba bona this thing ke ntwe le reng ina le value, gona o keep bana away from starting, and e gona o thusa le ngwana ebe ngwana a bonang a gonang ho lwanela hore a be responsible at an early age.
Right, so 2019 you start this baby. You managed to convince community as joiner.
Yes.
2020 COVID. How did that impact the club?
It was very, very hard because ne sa gone ya di competitioning, ne sa gone ho gym because we were locked down, so no dula nje motho le montlo o tla go lwela re ka ona le COVID straight go sa yi gym wa kula body ya o blella I wanna train guy o dula le ka montlo.
So how let's start at 2019. Do you need to get affiliated to a certain association or federation?
Yeah, federation, of which it's IWF, International Weightlifting Federation.
Okay.
Yes. And then from there, they help us ka bapatala di, like I get to lift, bapatala di entry fee, and then transport the bana as a club lead only for that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 2019, did you guys or any of your kids go to the competition just before the lockdown?
Yeah. Apparently, all the kids, because that time isn't any under 14.
Okay.
They went to Durban in LED SA Zabona.
Okay.
In LED SA Zabona, and all of them, medal. Only 2 as a woman.
So everyone from your team.
Yes.
And this was a team that
year. Just around the yard. And then they went there, dominate. At the end of the day, Amy ba excel so that have a travel. But out there
that are doing the same thing. So Tiisetso, you're saying your kids went to competition in Durban the very same year that the club was established.
Yes.
And how did they perform?
Very, very, very good. Like almost medal. Only 2 of them and remember squat rack. We only had the weights. Ba gono etsa ntwe re ba bontsha re ba tshwarela tsona re ba bona ba etsa ena ba fitla mole azam ba bona la ska bana ba tswang mo senang
the facilities there. And talking about the facilities and resources, how much of a difficulty it is for the startups tsa mogasi go kreya supporting? How long did it take the club to maybe get support, or the collaborations with the organizations in terms of support for equipment? Like you saying, you had very limited equipment.
Yeah. The other equipment, remember I said I knew weightlifting before. Meaning equipment. So ne re sebedisa tsona, and then re gona lo re mo community service mo ke seng ke go bogolo
Oh,
re
yes.
gone re kene mo re gone use whatever weights still re gona o di use but then and come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 2020 COVID comes, does the club shut down for period? The president has shut down the country.
We
the
had no
lockdown.
choice.
Yeah.
We had no choice because of everyone who knows adule. So we had to. Even though it was still a struggle. Because you can imagine, you understand, bana le ditlhoko, bana le ntho tse loreng bana le maybe le mathata bona and ke rona batho be loreng re close le bona ha ba sa re bone ha re sa bonane le rona e ne le yona ware ya hore go etsahalang ka bana. Yeah.
And at what point do you then reopen the club? Because 2020 we had the hard lockdown and then drop the levels and we could do certain things at some point. When did you then reopen the club after the initial lockdown?
I can't remember clearly, but nakwe the lockdown like banse ba re choose and all that. And they check out is it safe and then re bitsa bana like in numbers, in numbers or kopa 10 e tle to gym and ha ba tswa ba bang ba kene so that ba ska ba kaofela playing in one because we had 40 kids be lo re ba gymisa mo jareteng. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we fast forward to 2021. You become a champion, SA Championships. How did that come about? The competition.
Yes, the competitions and in a hostilwe ke hona club ya rona ke yona ne hostile di SA.
Okay.
Yeah, ko Morisa section. So it was fun. It was fun. At the end of the day, we are going as an individual over there. Yes, it is difficult, but at that moment, you need to fight. You need to fight all like whatever and that's what exactly I did. I went there,
yeah. With various sports, things like your SA Championships, sort of qualifying criteria.
Yes.
Did you have to go through a certain criteria to qualify or participate in the SA Championships, or how does it work go weightlifting?
No, I didn't have to. I just kile ka computer. I get it the division. So division in win. You understand? Win. So usually ki computer the division in the 2, 45 and 49, depending on body weight yaka yeme ko kae.
Okay. Yes. I think that's an educational point. So how do the divisions so competang go tone? What's the relationship between tone and your body weight?
Okay. Ke hore like ha ke le ko 45 ne ha ke le ko 45 division ke tseba di weights tse loreng I have to like the must or ke di thole so that ke win a competition. Okay. You understand? But then over difficulty if for instance because problem e ke encountering ha o lo gore ke a competition only to find out gore ke under weight. So most of the time, even the 45, I'm not to go 45 as per se. It's either like 44 or 43. You understand? So
this is now based on your body weight.
My body weight.
Okay.
Sometimes I enter 49 only to find out that the body it's less 47.
Yeah.
And it becomes a difficult if competition. It depends on what competition how big it is. And if it's a competition like Body SA or the Gauteng Champs, then I wouldn't be allowed to lift it. Yes.
Now, you've won SA Championships. You've had kids from Club Unyaluna going into tournaments and winning. As a club, what would you still like to achieve? Or from 2019 to currently, what are the things Tsokani mentioning that you see as victory for or success for the club? Are there any sponsors that have come on board? Are there any organizations that have come on board to team up?
Yes. Puma SA ke one re thusang ka diaparo.
Okay.
Yes, ke one re thusang ka diaparo. even now, I think they said facility, but only thusa, so that rebel facility because the guy hana limo ubono urbana, they come in huge numbers, yes. Even the space in the seba sinyani, meaning Jimmy Relinga or no, it needs to. It's either
a bigger facility,
yes, because of Jimmy Eka, each and every child was Soweto. Each and every child bulletu munyao. Yes.
So you've mentioned Puma. Are there any other people that have
Puma,
come on board?
and then including lifters of Gauteng. But we don't computer apparently.
Yeah.
So bare tools are like bare tools are haholo, and when as an individual you tend to also owner, but at the same time one supporter, you understand. So even the federation ya supporter, Puma leona ya supporter. USN mates ska bona go metsi kyale ba ga tliseditse metsi go ska ba dehydrated or anything like that. Yes.
And now in terms of, on the other side of the page, I'm sure doors gets closed on your faces. What sort of, you've mentioned, space for one. What sort of things do you struggle with as a club? It's still growing because it's 4 years now since Ibutu.
Space, because of, like I said, sometimes you find bana ba mbatswa. Not everyone that we and some people are very into no, but Baba Bolaya, we can't do this, we're still young. But for those Bailuren Bazwa, when Nikisha Salvanaba Jimura, it's fine. How I know you want to let's say by 7, but because I know you want umung, and then they come in large numbers. So even this thing or space is a and whenever raise or even limo school more before removal from Central Western Jabavu we approach it kamo pela Jablan Theater. We were promised and then just like that barotwella rather mobile community because of weightlifting. I understand this, so they thought bang the weights like it's something so yeah.
And then we've seen recently the Commonwealth and so many international competitions that are happening. When individually, what would you still want to achieve within the sports?
All right. Now as an individual, from now, go like a E1. Into the international level standard so that I can be able to compete outside the world. Yes, international. So that I can compete internationally because that way we want to see
you there. And what is that step? Go weightlifting, because I know with athletics, for instance, there are races that's totally udimate to qualify and stuff like that. In terms of weightlifting, does it work the same way? Compete internationally. How do you then transform from here to be able to qualify internationally? Is there any competitions to win? Are there any weights to achieve?
Yes.
If that process, you must be a South African champion or to reach this weight for you to be able to qualify to compete internationally.
All right. Currently, when I know best clean and jerk, it's 58. So I must do 70 if keto lifter under 45.
Okay.
If keto lifter under 45, I must check 70, 60 or 65. And then that way, scoreboarding, I not computer automatically go to international level. Because when I know get close, I'm not there yet, but I see tailoring a whole, but nutrition anka fumana nutrition e loreng e tlo gona ha ke batla ho nyolla weight ke nyolla ke batla ho reduce ke reduce then I will be fine.
And you spoke about bana batswang ba bang ba kena, but generally how is the representation ya batho ba bomme in the sport, ka observation ya hao ska motho o sebetsang le bona every day?
Yeah, it's best because it build up a self-confidence.
Yeah.
Always be a go-getter. You know this thing, I can do 1, 2, 3 for myself. I can do 1, 2, 3 for myself. It's all one side into in a different perspective. Life most especially for batho ba bomme. Some ba se ba kgona hore ba ka ikemela, no. Some confidence why born or yes.
Yeah, but I mean, just generally, I mean, do you see batho ba bomme ba joina ka bongata, or do you still feel gore batho ba bomme they are skeptical ba bona o ka re ke sports sa bontate? You know, there's all these words,
problem ba joina mara ba santse ba na this thing ya winter, you understand, winter aba ba to touch anything, winter wa bata ya bana le ntwe ya I could say preference ya I rather do this how cheese, I rather do this how the so but I live winter ba mathata.
Yeah, only as a career.
But slowly but surely, because of the feedbacks, you know, AXA, for instance, AXA the period pain, AXA I'm like, meaning you are doing a good thing. Give me respond. Yes.
And then in terms of locally, Momzansi, who are the females you look up to in terms of maybe weightlifting or sports in general?
Momzansi.
Yes. Or even internationally, if maybe you've got people that you look up to internationally.
I love Caster Semenya. Yeah, Caster Semenya. Because of the bullying I got. Remember, I started young, meaning boma grade 5 inyana, boma grade 5, 6. Aba se ba tseba bana o etsa weightlifting like ena ba ntwe ya hore o monna wa bona o tlo ba thata o na le potris, like those things they didn't make me feel right because ne santsane ke le young ka nako wena ke ipona le no vele ke different from batho ba, it means ke a ke right in total.
And now, what's the plans for Soweto Weightlifting Club? We spoke of a little bit earlier. October, you're going to the SA Championships again. This time in Diko Mosel Bay. But obviously, being a club, there are different divisions, different competitions. It's for under 14s. What's in the program for the rest of the year for the club?
For the club, because previously last combo abana no ka di essay tsa bona tsa di junior we got a trophy under 14 of which ke achievement e golo. So ke hore le rona no as the senior athletes re go dominator and come back more high country loreng is solid e loreng tlo bona batswadi ba rona ba ske ba feel ka re senya nako. You know, it pains you a lot if always and then why was I in just because of they think or there is money like now why don't you go play soccer? I was like the ball back then, not now. I'm in love with something else of which healing passion weightlifting. Yes.
You've spoke, just in wrapping up, you've spoke about how much the federation is also helping. Do you feel, because at times, you know, we cannot run away from the resources and maybe go suburban areas. Do you feel the club are getting the recognition they need, are getting the support they need, maybe not from the federation only, but maybe the corporate world, seeing Chalete being pumped into such clubs? Do you feel the support is there, or is Sanzileka?
It is there somewhere somehow high, but each and every single time I approach the taxi associations. So I transporter bana, especially King Nandoe. They know re transporter bana, and then I because remember the competition did different yes. You know any source of income on our clientele base. So re kopa hore o ka re charge bokae o isa bana competition for tsatsi le so. Sometimes ebile ba more cause tolo tlameha competition high 2, meaning Saturday including Sunday. Yeah.
Tiisetso, it's been an eye opener. I think we understand better because normally focus iba more what I would call the mainstream sports, your football, your netball, but the sports it's sometimes as communities I really understand the depth and the things that people can achieve within the sport, and I think you've shed a light. For when personally going to Mosel Bay, the SA Championships 2022, what are you looking to achieve this time around?
To win the comp again, Mara at a higher division. Like I would love to lift Kiloko 55. Kiloko 55. But then I know where with the current situation, like I can't. I want to body 55. It's either like now, you wear 42. Under 45. You see so be balanced. Still get underweight. And if care competition ka weight I never but to lift. Yes, ke approach di shopong, ke kope dijo ntonyana tseo and shopo tse ileng bana le hona ba mpha.
Okay.
Yes.
So in essence you would need dietitian, nutrition within the club to help with nutrition or reach those weight goals.
Yes, if ke batla ho nyoloha ke nyolohe, if ke tlameha hore ke reduce and be able to. Yes.
And I think that's a challenge that goes for batho kaofela within
the club, yes.
The kids
most bona, because of sometimes it becomes a difficulty or already overweight. You understand? Overweight you can imagine or reduce weight same time after one lift. So you see
there's that challenge.
even though I tried, but weight let's we expect a body perform 100% so yeah.
Talking all things weightlifting with Tiisetso Hlabathe right here at the Soweto Weightlifting Club. We wrapping it up, Tiisetso. Last words, so karatang to educate to allow kids if they want to join sports as one of these.
Okay. Nan I could say the responsibility. I want to make their lives easy, you understand? Because of Kibua based from what it's one thing, experience Kitodi. Uhola olongwane loreng udula wi kokobedize ntotse loreng ha di right ha do attract because of bana ba tlapong no they know they can't smoke, they can't drink, they cause ba taste you understand ba kwalla ntontse loreng di snacks ha ba batlise batswadi batlise bana ba tlo etsa weightlifting ke bophelo, weightlifting ke life. Give kids something to fall in love and enforce education. Tsela ya ho hapa bana o fa ngwana ntho metsa hore a e rata immediately so bona hore wa e rata and then o mo etsisa o bona nka re ha o understand o ba kenya education because bana ba tlapong they know hore once o ta ka report and about 30% wa stopiwa and haona ngwana haona ngwana ba tlang ho dula so ba improve sekolo ga ya dikolong go utlwa di ma teacher a bona backup hore go etsalang ba ngwana o performa jwang and then le bona ha ba na le mathata they know ha ba sa ho batswadi re batla coach. Yes.
Amen. It's been a great conversation. Like I mentioned, speaking to Tiisetso, 2021 as a senior champs in weightlifting. And I think the takeaway for me from this episode is that sports changes lives, sports empowers. And at times, even the sports that we don't understand as parents, as communities, we do need to give coaches a chance to give the children a shot into life. It is a wrap. Until the next one, Ma Africa, akwande.